ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अज्ञानां जाह्नवीतीर्थं विद्यातीर्थं विवेकिनां सर्वेषां सुखदं तीर्थं भारतीतीर्थमाश्रये विद्याविनयसम्पन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विधुशेखरभारतीम्. Dear friends, welcome to the 23rd session of our discussions around PRABODHA SUDHAKARA. So in today's session, we will look at Linga Dehadi Nirupana Prakaranam. In the last session, we have seen the Maya Siddhi Prakaranam, which is the 8th chapter. Today, we will look at this chapter, which is going to talk about the understanding of the so-called Linga Sharira, which is also called the Sukshma Sharira. So let us read. स्थूल शरीरास्यांतर्लिंग शरीरं च तस्यान्तः कारणम् अस्याप्यन्तस्ततो महाकारणं तुर्यम्. So here Bhagavad is reminding us of what this so-called Linga Shariram or Sukshma Shariram is, and the essentially 3 Sharirams are available with respect to any Jiva. In the Shastra, Vedanta Shastra, generally 3 Sharirams are told. That is, the Sthula Shariram, which is the gross body made of the physical matter. The Sukshma Shariram or the Linga Shariram, which is the subtle body made up of the subtle matter. The subtle matter in the sense, so what it is we will see. Karana Shariram, which is the causal body, which is made up of the Bija Avastha, that is the seed-like state of all the material principle. These are the 3 Sharirams which are generally told. However, this third Shariram means body, that is divided into 2 segments, or you can say 2 concepts. So one is being continued to being called as the Karanam, so corresponding to the Karana Shariram, so Karanam. The other one is called Mahakaranam. So this Karana Shariram itself is divided into 2 here in this description, Karanam and Mahakaranam. So what is Thula? So Shariram, the word Shariram itself, you may recall, this means that which decays, Shiryate, that which decays or decomposes, that which is come about into manifestation and therefore at some point of time will become unmanifest. Contrast this with the Atman, which is ever present, which is eternal. And of course, all these bodies or sharirams are also made up of essentially matter only. That is, they are all jadavastu. They are part of the Prakriti. They are not the Purusha. They are not the Atman or the consciousness. They do not by themselves have consciousness in them. They are not conscious entities, whereas the Atman is the conscious entity which is always present. So essentially the Jiva, that is the individualized consciousness or individual consciousness, this is an idea that I am an individual. The Jiva is a essential idea that I am an individual. So when you say I am so and so person born in such and such place, our identification is with the Sthula Shariram. Yes, the Sthula Shariram or the gross body was born in such and such place in before so many years. The Sthula Shariram alone is born. When you begin to talk about the characteristics of your sense organs, I can see well, I cannot see well, etc. Here there is a mixture. The sense organs are a mixture of the Sukshma Shariram as well as the Sthula Shariram. There is a gross aspect to the eyes, but there is also the power of sight, which is more subtle aspect. This power of sight belongs to the Sukshma Shariram or the Linga Shariram, whereas the organ, which is the physical eye, belongs to the Sthula Shariram. So when I say that I cannot see well, I may be talking about either the physical eye, which is part of the Sthula Shariram, or I may be talking about my inhibited power of sight. Even though my physical organ is fine, I still may have some problems in seeing things clearly. So that is some kind of a issue with the Linga Shariram, with the Sukshma Shariram. So the identification in the statement that I am not able to see well could either be with the Linga Shariram or the Sukshma Shariram. Sorry, Linga Shariram or the Sthula Shariram. Now consider another possibility, another kind of statement. I am a intelligent person, I am a knowledgeable person. Here, clearly, this knowledge or intelligence is a property of the mind only. And the mind is intelligent or it is knowledgeable. When I say I am intelligent or knowledgeable, I am identifying with the Linga Shariram or the Sukshma Shariram. Linga Shariram and Sukshma Shariram mean the same thing. So Linga Shariram, why is it called Linga Shariram? So Linga, the word, signifies the meaning of the word itself is essentially signifier. Linga means signifier. It signifies something. So Linga Shariram means, what does it signify? It signifies the presence of the life within that body. Sthula Shariram is a gross body. It is present for both the living person as well as the non-living person. Correct? The body as such, physical body, is available both for the living people, those who still have life in the body, and those who don't have life in the body, both have the body. Right? The body is available. So Sthula Shariram is not the signifier of the life available in the person. So Jivatva being associated with the body, that is not getting signified by the presence of the body. Whereas the Linga Shariram being present is the one which signifies the Jiva being in the physical body or not. So when I say I am inhabiting this body, I am alive as such and such person, what does it mean? It means that the Sukshma Shariram is available in that particular body. The subtle body is available in that particular gross body. So when the subtle body goes away from the gross body, that precisely is called death. So what is death? This physical body is no more useful for the subtle body. So the subtle body moves from one physical body to the next Janma. That is called death. Then rebirth and so on. So the Linga for the aliveness, the sign of aliveness in the body is indicated by the presence of the Sukshma Shariram or the Linga Shariram. That is why it is called Linga Sharira. Linga means signifier. Okay. So now let us look at this verse. Sthula Sharirasya Antaha. Sthula Sharirasya Antaha. So within the Sthula Shariram, Linga Shariram cha Linga Shariram asti. So Linga Shariram is within the Sthula Shariram. So within here means there is sort of a layer of identification. So the person has a certain identification with the Sukshma first. Then through the Sukshma Shariram or the Linga Shariram, there is a further identification with the physical body. So Linga Shariram cha tasya antaha. So within the Linga Shariram, what is present? That is called the Karanam. Karanamasya api antaha. Then within this Karanam again, tato Mahakaranam Turyam. There is the fourth entity which is called Mahakaranam. Turyam here means fourth. The word Turyam means fourth. Mahakaranam means the cause of the cause, like that we can say. It is a greater cause than the Karanam which was mentioned before. So both this Karanam and Mahakaranam, in this verse we are not able to understand what it is, but in a later verse their meaning is told. Essentially, the Karana Shariram stands for avidya or ignorance of the self. What I am, I don't know. When I don't know what I am, there is the possibility of me being a jiva. There is a possibility of me being the identification with having identification with the Sukshma Shariram. There is a possibility of me having identification with the Sthula Shariram and so on. So when I don't know my real nature, then from that point on, there is a possibility of wrong identification with various bodies, right? The physical body, subtle body. There is a possibility of wrong identification with this. So this wrong identification itself is called jivatva. That I think that I am confined to one physical body or one subtle body. That alone is called jivatva. That alone is called the beginning of samsara. So when I think that I am a person, I am an individual, then from that point on, all the problems associated with the individual become associated with me. The problems of the physical body become my problems. The problems of the subtle body become my problems. And this attachment with the bodies causes attachment with their problems. And this is precisely what is called as dukkha or samsara. More technical word is adhyasa. That is also used by Bhagavad Pada in the Bhashyams. Adhyasa means some erroneous perception, some erroneous understanding. What is the error here? The subtle body is alive, it is available, it is present. The physical body is there, it is available, it is present. But to think that this physical body is me, I am this physical body alone. Only this physical body. What about other physical body? That I am not there. I am different because my body is different from all the other bodies. I am intelligent. Somebody else is stupid. And that two people are there. I am not that other person. This subtle body is what I am. Some other subtle body is somebody else. So this wrong identification with the subtle body, the wrong identification with the physical body, this is called adhyasa. Why do we say that this is a wrong identification? Because by the drik drishya viveka, we have seen that before, by the drik drishya viveka, that is by the distinguishing the witness from the witnessed, we know that I can never be the physical body. Physical body is available to me for perception. Therefore, I am not physical body. Subtle body or the mind, essentially subtle body is the mind, that is available for my perception. So therefore, I am not the subtle body. However, in the scenario of the physical body having some particular characteristics, I identify myself with it. In the scenario of the subtle body having some characteristics, I identify with it, and this identification is the mistake. Whereas the subtle and various bodies, subtle and physical bodies, Sukshma and Sthula, these Sharirams are all objects of my perception. I think of them as myself, or I think that they belong to me. Both are Adhyasa. So Ahankara and Mamakara. I think that these bodies are myself, or I think that these bodies belong to me. So that is a Mamakara. If I think of them as myself, that is Ahankara. So this Ahankara Mamakara is precisely the samsara. This is Adhyasa. This Adhyasa is caused by this Karanam, Karana Shariram, which is the Avidya. That is the self-ignorance. Now let us continue. Sthulam nirupitam pragadhuna sukshmadito brumah angushthamatrah purushas shrutiriti yat praha tat sukshmam. Sthulam nirupitam prag adhuna. Adhuna prag sthulam nirupitam. So already we have discussed about the sthula shariram. So the Dehaninda Prakaranam, that is the first Prakaranam of the Prabodha Sudhakara. In that Prakaranam itself, the description of the Sthula Shariram was given. So it is made up of various, things, the bone, fat, this, that, and so on. The physical attributes, etc., were all told in that Prakaranam. Please go and have a look at it once again. Here Bhagavad Pada is reminding us of this. It is already described. Prak, Adhuna, Adhuna Prak. Before this chapter, in some other chapter, we have already discussed Sthulam Nirupitam. It has already been well established, well described in the previous chapter. Now, Sukshmadito Brumaha. So from Sukshma onwards, Sukshmaditaha Brumaha. Brumaha means now it is being told, we are saying it like that. So now the description is about the Sukshma and the other Shariram, the Karana and Mahakaranam, which was told in the previous verse. So now a kind of a description of the Sukshma Shariram is given in the Shruti. It is given in the Veda. It is given in the Upanishad. So how is it given? Angushthamatraha Purushaha Shrutihi iti yat praha yat Shruti praha tat sukshma. Angushthamatraha iti Shrutihi yat praha tat sukshmam. So Angushthamatraha means that which is the size of a small thumb, you can say. It is just of the size of the thumb. So this entity who is of the size of the thumb is called Sukshmam. That is told in the Upanishad. So what does it signify here? Angushtamatra means, is it really of the size of the thumb? Not. You can take this as a metaphorical description. This metaphorical description is simply helping us to differentiate the Sukshma Shariram from the physical body. The physical body is not the size of the thumb, you see. The physical body is much larger compared to the thumb. So, compared to the physical body, the Sukshma Shariram is not some kind of a gross entity which you can search anywhere. Neither does it have any gross measurements. So here one measurement is given that it is of the size of the thumb. So immediately we start looking for the Sukshma Shariram. Where is it? Where is it? Is it of the size of the thumb, etc.? It is an object of the size of the thumb. So it is maybe, somewhere outside in the physical world, we cannot search for our Sukshma Shariram. It is not available in the physical world at all. So just to point out that this Sukshma Shariram is not something, or the Linga Shariram is not something which is a physical entity. It is simply a different type of an entity from the physical body. It cannot be available for physical perception of the sense organs. So therefore, this entity, you can imagine it as being embedded within the physical body, with its center sort of being the heart being the center. You imagine it. So imagine that it is available in the center of the mind. As the mind, it is available in the physical body, and this entity, which is subtle, it is subtle because it is not available for physical perception. It is not available for sensory perception. So we have to see it through our inner vision. We have to see it through our mind's eye, you can say. Mind is seen via the mind's eye. What is the mind's eye? This eye, the self, is the mind's eye. What do we mean by this? I observe that I am not able to see well. Who observes it? I observe it. I observe that I am disturbed today. I am being disturbed by something. I observe that, I feel very happy. Who observes? The mind itself is being observed here by the Sakshi or the witness. So by this observation, we understand that the Sukshma Shariram is existing, and the Sukshma Shariram is as though available within the human body in the form of a very subtle thing compared to the human body, as though it is like the size of the thumb. It's not really, but as though. That is the idea present in the Upanishad. So yet praha, that sukshma. In that way, what is being told in the Upanishads, that is the sukshma shariram. Okay. So now the elaborate description is given. Sukshmani mahabhutan yasavaha panchendriyani panchaiva shodasham antahkaranam tat sanghato hi lingatanuhu. So lingatanuhu is linga shariram. Tanuhu means shariram. So the linga shariram, the subtle body, what is it? It is a sanghata. It is a composition. It is a mixture. It is a entity which is well put together. Well put together, not haphazardly put together, not like randomly thrown, but it is a entity which is put together in a proper manner, constituent, its constituents being these 16 things, Shodasham, these 16 things which are described, those are the constituents of the Linga Shariram. What are these 16 things? This number 16 varies from one text to another text. In some text it is 20, in some text it may be 19, in some text it is 16, etc. But the overall idea is these are components. This subtle body, just like the physical body is a well put together entity of various kinds of things, this flesh, muscle, and the nerves and the bones, etc., etc. In the same way, this Sukshma Shariram is also a put together entity. It is an entity which is well put together, intelligently put together not in a haphazard way, but in a very careful way. It is joint, it is a compound mixture of what? Now the 16 things. Mahabhutani, Sukshmani, Mahabhutani. So what are these Mahabhutas? So you have heard of the Panchabhutas, Akasha, Vayu, Agnihi, Apaha or Jalam, and Prithvi. These Panchabhutas are there. These Panchabhutas are essentially in two ways. One way is the subtle form. One type of Panchabhutas is the subtle Panchabhutas, which are called the Sukshma Panchabhutas or the Tanmatras. The other set of Panchabhutas are the Sthula Panchabhutas, which are the objects of, which form essentially the various sensory objects of perception. So every object here, Akasha for instance, is associated with the hearing. Vayu is associated with both hearing and touch. So you can sense the wind through your body. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, but you can sense it on your touch. Via your skin, you can feel the perception of wind. At the same time, you can also hear the wind, the howling of the wind, we say. So as the wind is, it's going very fast, you can actually hear it, right? So this wind or vayu, you can perceive it through, or you can understand its availability, its presence through both sound and touch. Akasha, you can understand its presence through sound. Then Agni. Agni has a crackling sound. So when there is a fire burning, you can hear a sort of a crackling sound in some scenarios, right? When it is burning big, it produces some sound. At the same time, clearly, it is available for perception. It is available for eyes to perceive. It is also available for touch. That is very clear. Anywhere you touch Agni, you are going to get a burn. So it is available for touch, it is available for the eyes to see, it is available for the ears to hear. And then similarly, apaha or jalam, that is the waters, are available for 4 sense organs. All the 3 which were mentioned before, as well as taste. Then like that, similarly, earth also. Earth, Prithvi. So Prithvi, all the 5 sense organs you can use to sense the earth. So in this way, the external sense objects are composed of the Sthula Pancha Mahabhutas. The external sense objects, every object you take in the world, you are perceiving it through these 5 sensory perceptions, these 5 sense organs, these indriyas is what we call them. These indriyas through which you sense them, these indriyas are capturing those elements only. They are capturing the Pancha Mahabhutas only, which are available in the Sthula form, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi. Whereas in the Sukshma Shariram, these Panchabhutas help you to perceive the Sthula Panchabhutas in the external world. You understand? Every Panchabhuta in the Sukshma form is paired with the Sthula in the external world. Is paired. So the Sukshma form of the Akasha is helpful for us to perceive the Sthula Akasha, is helpful for understanding the Sthula Akasha. The Sukshma form of Vayu is helpful for understanding the availability of Vayu in the external world and so on. So like that, these counterparts of the or precursors of the Sthula Panchabhutas are available in the Sukshma Shriram as the Sukshma Panchabhutas. So that is the first thing, Sukshmani Mahabhutani. These are connected with the so-called Jnanendriyas. That is the sense organs, sensory organs of perception. Then what? Asavaha. Asavaha means asu. Asu in plural. Asuhu in plural. So this asu means the prana, the various pranas. The 5 pranas which are there. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. These 5 pranas which are available, which form the physiological functions. So you cannot see these physiological functions, how the body is doing. For example, we can understand that our food is getting digested or not via an internal observation. Especially if it is not getting digested, we are perceiving it. But at the same time, it is not available to us for perceiving through sense organs. Our internal eye, our buddhi can perceive that the food is getting digested or not. Similarly, the buddhi can perceive whether the respiratory function is working properly or not, and so on. So these functions in the body are happening by the presence of these prana. So that is why we say when the person is gone, that is when the person has died, left the body, the prana has left the body is what we say. So the prana is the life giving physiological functions. If these physiological functions stop functioning in the body, then that person is essentially dead. The body is dead. That's what we mean, right? So asavaha, pancha asavaha means 5 pranas. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. Okay. Then pancha indriyani panchaiva. So then what? The pancha karmendriyani is also available. The karmendriyas are the indriya, the functional aspects of the 5 kinds of one may say, physical functions which are available in the body. Locomotion associated with various movement available in the body. That is the karmendriya. What are these? Walking is one karmendriya. The power to walk is one karmendriya. Then there is a power to use your hands. That is another karmendriya. Then there is a power to procreate. That is another karmendriya. Like that, there are 5 karmendriyas. All these karmendriyas are also part of the karmendriya, means the power to enable your body to be moving. That is also available in the Sukshma Shariram. So if this Sukshma Shariram is not functioning properly, even though there may not be a problem with the physical organ, legs may be fine as such. It may look like a healthy person's leg, but the person will not be able to use the leg. Like some kind of paralysis, etc. might be, the person may be affected with. So physically the leg is fine, but some issue is there because of which the person is not able to use the leg at all. Some issue in the mind. So these are issues in the Sukshma Shariram. These aspects, these powers to enable the body to function physically, that is also available in the Sukshma Shariram. So these, how many are over now? 5 Pancha Mahabhutas, Sukshma Mahabhutas, then 5 Asuhu, so 5 Asavaha, that is the 5 Pranas, then the 5 Indriyas, so there are 15 over, then you have the Shodasham, which is Antahkaranam, the 16th one, which is the Antahkarana, or the mind, which is the subtlest of the subtlest. Among all these things, the mind is the most subtle. Antahkaranam means the inner organ of perception or the mind. Tat Sanghataha, the mixture of this, the intelligently put together compound of this is called the Linga Tanuhu or the Linga Sharira. And because it is intelligently put together, it also decomposes at some point of time. See, anything that is put together will also decompose. That is the implication. The Atman, however, is never put together. It will never decompose. It is always available as it is. Nobody has to bring the parts. There is no parts of the Atman which can be brought together. So there is no possibility of the parts getting broken away or decomposed. Okay. Next verse. Tat karanam smritam yat tasyantar vasanajalam tasya pravrittir hetur buddhyashrayam atra turyam syat. So recall that in the first verse of the chapter, the behind the Suksha Shariram, another 2 parts were mentioned, 2 Sharirams were mentioned, Karanam and Mahakaranam. So those are being described here. Tat Karanam, Asya Karanam, the Sukshma Sharirasya Karanam, Smritam, know that to be what? To be the Vasana Jalam, Antar Vasana Jalam. Tasya Antaha Vasana Jalam. So that which is available even within the Suksha Shariram, what is that? Vasana Jalam. It is a Jalam, means it is like a storehouse, interconnected network, we may say. Interconnected network of Vasanas. What are these Vasanas? Various Vasanas, that is various impressions collected over many previous Janmas up to this Janma. Those are the Vasanas. Vasanas means some latent leftover impressions in the mind which impel us to act, which create certain patterns of thinking in us, we may say. How to recognize that there are Vasanas? One may say, like for some reason or a person or a child which is born may have a certain preference for one kind of thing over another. So you give the same, you give the same ball to two different children. One child may play very well, two different children of the same age, you can say. And these children are very small, let us say they are infants, two infants of the same age. One of those infants may play with the ball very vigorously, whereas the other infant may not touch it at all, may be interested in completely different thing. Same way for any other thing, like so many likes and dislikes, which naturally manifest without our control in our own life. Like one person may be interested in learning Shastra, one person may be interested naturally in learning Vedanta, whereas another person, in spite of, his close family also, they are interested in Vedanta. They call this person to come, but the person is never interested. He or she doesn't show any interest at all. So why is there a difference between the various skills and interests, desires of various individuals? That is because of these latent impressions in the mind collected over many janmas. These impressions are called vasanas. So vasana jalam. See, these impressions are so much complicated to understand. It is not meant for understanding. It is just, we must just know that it is there. That's all. Sometimes these crop up in the mind simply because these things are there from long time. And the Sukshma Shariram doesn't go away by death. You see, only the physical body goes away. The impressions are contained in even prior to the Sukshma Shariram itself. That is what is being told here. Karanam tasya karanam. So even for the the Sukshma Shariram, these vasanas are the reason for the Sukshma Shariram's existence itself. So that is the idea. तस्य प्रवृत्ति हेतुः बुद्ध्याश्रयम् अत्र तुर्यं स्यात्. Tasya pravritti hetu means for this karanam to manifest in the life, for these vasanas to manifest in the life of a person, there is an even hidden, even deeper entity which is responsible. That entity is what? Buddhyashrayam. Buddhyashraya here is standing for something which is embedded in the mind. What is embedded in the mind? It is referring indirectly to the avidya or the lack of self-knowledge. Avidya or avarana. Avarana here standing for again lack or hidden, hiding, covering. Avarana means covering. Covering of what? So covering of the nature of the self. Covering of the nature of the self. The self's nature is being hidden from the person, from the mind, because of wrong understanding of oneself. Because I understand myself as the body or mind, because of this, I come under the influence of the vasanas. If I don't understand myself, if I don't identify myself as the body or mind, then I know that what I am is truly the self. Then these vasanas, whether they are there or not, whether they are present or not, they may be present. Sukshma Shariram means vasanas will be there. These impressions will be there because prior janmas are there for the Sukshma Shariram. But I don't come under the influence of these vasanas because I know that I am not the body. So body may have its own, history. Bodies may have their own destiny. I don't really worry about them. I don't really pay any attention to them. I may pay attention only to observe they exist, but I don't have to struggle to accomplish the end of those vasanas. So when there is a desire which crops up in the mind due to vasanas, it may be the case that I like to eat sweets, for example. It may be the case that I don't want to go to a particular location because I don't want to go somewhere because I don't like to go to that place. But if there is a need to go there, or if there is a responsibility. If it is dharma to go there, then I will go there. In spite of the thing that my vasanas are against it, I will still do that. Similarly, when the desire crops up for something, in spite of the desire cropping up, it doesn't force me to take up that desire and fulfill it. I simply remain a sakshi to that desire. Desire will persist for some time and then it will go away. I retain the strength of being myself to myself. I don't give up my identification. I don't give up my understanding and I don't identify with the subtle body or the physical body. So, to remove the influence of the vasanas themselves can never be removed from the subtle body. But if I want to remove myself from the influence of the vasanas, that is definitely possible. And how do I do that? I can do that by understanding who I am. That is by destroying avidya. How do I destroy avidya? Understand the teaching, the message of Vedanta, understand the real nature of the self. How do I understand Vedanta? Go to the appropriate teacher. Learn from the teacher what the Shastra is saying. That is the idea. So, tasya pravritti hetuhu means the one which is impelling or which causes the vasanas to become enlivened in the individual, to influence the individual. For that, what is the reason? Buddhyashrayam atra turyam syat. The fourth one is responsible, which is buddhyashrayam, which is present in the buddhi. And this fourth one is precisely the avidya or avarana, the ignorance about the Atman. So with this verse, let us close today's discussion. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi.